Okay, Kafka is here. As a hater, you are winning. No, Kafka is here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Huh? Any haters? Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. What else do you need? Huh? One more Luca. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, Alan haters rise up. Yo, what else do you need? Oh, Sampu as well. Ooh, Sampu haters rise up. Oh, more Luca. Oh, yo, why so many, man? Why so many? Chill. There's only so many. Why do you need so many, right? Yo, how can he get so many? This is not fair. Why Akisa always get lucky, man? Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video. Now, if you guys are not aware, Kafka was just released on Asia server. Let's talk a little bit about her. I've pulled for her, gotten her, and I've built her up to level 80. Now, a couple of things. Let's talk about the builds first. What's the best team, best light cones, best stats that you're looking for in the Relics before we jump into a couple of other things of where she stands in the meta right now, because I think that's a very important discussion to talk about. Now, first things first, I do like Kafka a lot because she is very easy to build, surprisingly. Easy to build in terms of the substats, easy to build in terms of the requirements. She doesn't need anything in particular outside of attack percent. So if you are building your Kafka, so just make sure that she has a ton of attack percent, and ideally, if you can get up to 3k attack, that's the goal, that's the target. My recommendation is at least 3000 attack. Should be easily doable for a lot of people. I've seen some people manage to get up to 4000 even. For me, without substats, I was able to get this many attack. So if you look at her relics, the one that's going to give her the most energy is going to be the lightning set, Band of Seizing Thunder. This one increase your lightning damage, makes a lot of sense. Kafka does lightning damage, and also 4-piece is going to increase your attack by further 20% whenever you use your skill. And she is very skill point reliant. You don't want to pair her with somebody else that's also skill point reliant. The team is gonna fall apart if that's the case, right? Space Ceiling Station, again, no brainer, 24% attack. If you can reach the 120 speed, hopefully you're able to achieve that. Now, why attack percent? Because Kafka is a DOT character. Now, if you guys are not aware, DOT cannot really crit. Alright, DOT, she's mostly going to apply DOT damage based upon her skill, based upon her ultimate. You can see right here. Alright, so her damage mostly from the ultimate is going to be this one. At level 8, you can see it's going to be 224% of Kafka's attack. Now, her skill can basically apply lightning damage, as you can see, right? And all DOTs currently placed on the enemy immediately produce and damage equal to the 71% of the original damage. Again, this is at level 8, right? So she's all about applying DOT to the enemy, and DOT by nature doesn't crit, so therefore crit rate and crit damage is not going to be that useful on her. In my opinion, this is actually a plus, because think about it, right? Like, you only need to focus on attack percent and preferably speed. The more speed she has, the faster she's able to apply the DOT and refresh their duration as well. So that's something to keep in mind. For the body, I would highly recommend going for attack percent. This is going to be easily achievable for a lot of players. Attack percent is what you want, and you want substat of speed if it's possible. My Relics is not fully optimized yet. I'm still trying to, you guys know it's hard to kind of get the perfect relic sets. As for boots, go for speed. That's going to be the best way. Ideally, you want 134 speed still, minimum. That's my recommendation, with attack percent substat preferably. This is kind of a bad one because you can see I got a lot into the defense percent. Now, she's going to need at least 11% effect hit rate. So that's going to be something that's easily achievable just by substats alone. So even mine, I have about 36% effect hit rate. That's like overkill by nature. Now, for the rope, highly recommend going for attack percent. A lot of players have asked me, should you go for the energy regeneration rope? The answer is no, because I tried energy regeneration rope. It doesn't make me get my ultimate one turn faster. So in that case, there's just no point. So straight up, just go for attack percent. It's going to give you much more output damage. And of course, for this particular, the sphere, lightning damage boost is going to be her best friend. And you can see, yes, I'm using a 4-star, a purple, because I don't have a yellow yet. So hopefully I'll get something good soon. Now let's talk about Litecoins, which is going to be the best one. Obviously, if you can obtain or you can afford to get this particular one, which is Kafka's specific Litecoin, patience is all you need, go for it, right? If you can afford to get this, go for it. You can see this is going to give her a lot of speed. Now there's also the Silver Wolf's Litecoin, which is the Incessant Rain. Alright, I don't think you need this as much. This gives a lot of effect hit rate, but like I said, Kafka doesn't really need much hit rate. She's going to need less than 15%, 24% effect hit rate is pretty much overkill. Same applies for Welt's one, although Welt's one is going to be way more decent because it does improve her attack. So I do think the second best one is going to be this one, In the Name of the World, which is Welt's Litecoin. Now as for her best free-to-play Litecoin, I'm going to say either Good Night and Sleep Well or Fermata. I think Fermata is going to be something that every player has and is easily accessible. And I do like this because it improves the damage if the enemy are applied with Shock or Wind Shear. And it's going to increase your damage by 16%. And obviously, going up further, Superimpose 5, this will go up to 32%. Also, it increases her break effect. I know the break effect is not going to do much for her, but still, this is going to be something that's easily accessible. A lot of players will be able to get this to Superimpose 5 easily. Now, let's look at some tier lists. How strong is Kafka ideally? As you can see right here, she is really strong. She's probably the strongest character right now, on par with Blade, on par with Scylla, courtesy of Brightwen.gg. Now, if I were to change the tier list a little bit to a single target, now in terms of single target damage, Kafka is still behind Scylla, obviously, but she's on par with Yanqing and Blade, and that is saying a lot. However, if you look at the DPS rankings of Kafka right here, you can see currently in 3 targets scenario, she's going to be the one that does the most amount of damage right now amongst every single 5 stars in the game. Alright, she does more damage than Blade, she does more damage than Jingyuan, which I can attest to, she does more damage than Himeko, Serval, etc. Now for single target, right, Scylla is still going to be higher, followed by Yanqing, followed by Kafka. Now if you are free to play, highly recommend Kafka. Yes, she's going to consume a bunch of SP, alright, the skill points, because she's going to be SP heavy. I do think that Blade is going to be much more SP efficient. Blade is still going to be a very solid character for a long while, so I wouldn't worry too much about it just because Kafka is doing slightly more. But still, this shows her true strength. Alright, she's still really strong overall. And if you look right here, this testing was done using this particular Relics. Alright, the Band of Seizing Thunder and Space Healing Station. And they are also using the Fermata Litecoin. Now you can also see right here from the damage breakdown, 35.8% is going to be the majority of the damage source from DOT, and she will have more from the skill as well. Now, let's talk about the best team with Kafka right now. So there's a couple of options that you can go with. Since you have Kafka, you want to bring at least one more DOT characters. So in this case, it can be either Sempo, Luca, or Serval. I highly recommend either Sempo or Luca because Serval might not be the best in terms of the output damage, and it's going to be too reliant on the enemy to be weak against lightning because they are both lightning. So at least if you have either Luca or Sempo, it fits better and is more flexible because if the enemy is not weak against lightning, at least you have another like wind or another physical where they are able to help break the enemy's shield faster in that case, and you're not too reliant on one element. So I do like either Sempo or Luca personally. Now I already have a Sempo build, so obviously going for Sempo is going to make a lot of sense. Now if you don't have Sempo built yet, Luca could be a good option as well, depending on which higher Eidolons you have of both of them. Now and then you have a Harmony character. Now in this slot, you can either use Tingyan, you can use Asta. Now a lot of players are going to recommend Asta because she can apply burn on her regular attack. And I think that's a fair point. So Asta by far is going to be better. Tingyan is going to be maybe second. Now either way, both are 4 stars and both are pretty easily obtainable. I'm sure every player now should either have one Tingyan, and Asta, I'm sure every player has her because you obtain her for free as your first tutorial character. And the last one, this could be a healer or a shielder depending on who you want to put here. It could be Jeopard, it could be Bailu, it could be Natasha, or if you want to, Luocha. Any healer to hopefully sustain the team so that nobody dies and they are able to constantly protect the team as a whole, right? So I personally prefer Jeopard because Jeopard is less skill hungry. Like Jeopard, you can basically just use him and his normal attack, and you can basically just cast ultimate every time you have the energy up. So by not using skill points on Jeopard, I can sort of rotate my sample to sometimes use his skill. And I like that a lot in this particular team. Now, if you use someone like Bailu, for example, I believe you're going to need to use her E skill once in a while to heal your character if you do not have the ult. So that's something that you have to consider. Ideally, I think both is going to work just fine. Natasha is going to be equally as good as well if you have her, which makes this team really free-to-play friendly in my humble opinion. So if you guys are looking for a free-to-play friendly team for the time being, I think this is going to be a solid choice, alright? So yeah, overall Kafka, I do think that she's a very strong character so far. After testing for a couple of hours, she's doing slightly more damage than my Jingyuan. And that's saying a lot, considering that my Jingyuan has a very strong light cone, alright? I have a Before Dawn as my light cone for Jingyuan, while my Kafka has a 4-star light cone, right? In this case, I'm using Fermata. Now you can see based upon the stats, I do think that my Kafka has way worse stats overall. So I'm only building attack, right? So my crit rate and crit damage is going to be a little bit lacking right there. And then, this is what stats I have on Jingyuan. So I do have slightly less attack, but I have way more crit rate, way more crit damage, right? And also way more lightning damage boost. Kafka is definitely... I can definitely feel that she's stronger, and I feel like Jingyuan might need a buff. That's just what I think. But so far, based on the damage comparison here, you can already tell. For 3 targets, Kafka is still able to do more damage. In certain niche scenario situations, sure, Jingyuan might come on top if it's going to require you to hit like all 5 enemies. But yeah, that situation may vary, of course. Alright, so with that being said, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you guys think of Kafka overall. Are you guys happy with her? Are you guys still pulling for her? Let me know in the comment section below. She's currently the best damage dealer right now for multi-hit targets. I'm honestly very surprised with that. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this video. Give this video a like if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.